All right. I'm gonna just record it. I ain't even gonna. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm unprepared. Yes. This might be our first time YouTube Live. Is it the first though? This is the first YouTube Live?
First YouTube Live, baby.
This is the first YouTube Live. Many more to come. Facebook on their bullshit. We gonna take our talents to South Beach, man. YouTube. We coming to invade your space. You heard? How you feel about that, brother E?
Yo, you know, this what we doing, man. I mean, you know, I'm with it. I'm riding, baby. You know what I mean? We here. YouTube. It's the discussion, man. You know, we should have did this a long time ago, man. Yes, sir.
While we sit over here trying to get it together, man, hey, can I offer my brother a beverage of sorts or?
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
I want to make sure you're ready to go when we go in, because we got a few things we're gonna cover.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to rock.
We got a few things we're gonna cover today. We ain't even gonna hold you. We're gonna hop right into it, man.
Okay, let's hop right into it.
You know, first of all, I want to say we appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. If it's your first time tuning in, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get your notifications each and every time we drop that new content.
You already know, baby.
So, before we hop into the title, let's the previous title, and it's getting a lot of traction. So we chose to kind of not cover that and go into something else. But the baby punched another nigga. The baby punched the niggas.
Yeah, the baby gangster out there, man. The baby doing some gangster stuff out there, man.
The baby, you know, appears to be a man who's not going for that shit.
I don't know what baby mind is saying and his intentions, man. But he just out here on some gangster tough G.I. Joe stuff. Listen, it makes you proud to be from North Carolina. The baby is really representing. Do you feel that way?
A while back. Not really. But a while back, I saw a video where baby punched a nigga out of his pants.
The baby on his joint.
I saw a video where the baby punched the nigga out of his pants.
Okay, now hold up. Which incident was this? Who was this?
I can't remember the kid name. Lionheart or...
Oh, okay. I thought you was maybe talking about the girl brother or something.
No. That's recent.
Okay.
This is like in the beginning.
Okay.
It was kind of like it went in succession.
Mm-hmm.
You had the baby shot somebody at Walmart or something, right? That was the first one, right?
Right.
It was like the second incident. He punched the nigga out of his pants in the mall.
Man,
they was in the mall, and the dude approached the baby in the mall in the store.
I do remember that incident.
Yeah.
I do remember that incident.
Yeah, he punched the nigga out of his pants, bro.
Yo, the baby is gangster.
Have you ever seen somebody get punched out of their
Listen,
pants?
but you know what's really crazy? Everybody keeps saying, yo, you know what I mean? We always talk about gun violence. The baby is handling his business with his knuckles. You know what I mean?
And his gun.
And yeah, but listen, he's not resorting to that first. You know what I mean? He's not just doing that.
True.
The baby's gonna box you out. You know what I mean? He's like North Carolina's superhero right now.
But you know, in all honesty, even though I'm sitting over here cutting up with it,
right?
I would love to see the baby use more reserve. And the only reason I'm saying that is, you know, it can't be by coincidence that all these incidents keep happening to you. That's being recorded. Sooner or later, and it doesn't matter how fearless you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be fearless. But at the end of the day, there's somebody else who's fearless too. There's somebody else who may be scared, may be afraid. You could possibly lose your life.
Right.
Or cause somebody around you to lose their life.
True. Facts.
or throw your whole career away.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see the baby express or show better judgment. As you know what I'm saying, the old saying goes,
When it comes to incidents, like
when it comes, like you have to learn how to avoid situations, man. You know what I mean?
But this was what one of his artists. You know what I'm saying?
And from what I saw from the video, when I could be wrong, it was just words. It wasn't.
No, the baby did a flying fist.
No. I'm talking about before the flying fist.
Okay.
The dude didn't put hands on the baby. It was
Nah, but look, he stood up to the baby. Now the baby ain't won't just, you know what I mean? Dude was like, he was ready. He was swinging.
Yeah, you know.
But the baby did that flying MMA fight. He didn't know what to do. He just, you know what I mean? Listen, I ain't saying it's a good thing, baby. You're right. He should exercise some control. But damn it, man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have fun with this one. That was damn good. The baby should be an MMA fighter.
The baby should be, you gotta fight. Like he fights too much.
Yeah, he do. He could get somebody hurt or get himself hurt. I do agree with you.
You know,
I'm capping. I'm having fun with it.
It's one thing to, you're gonna, of course, you're gonna defend yourself.
Right.
And if somebody gets too disrespectful, you're gonna do what you do.
Right.
But at the same time, man, when you right now if you're in the baby's position, there's people who depending on you, man. Whether it's children or parents or whoever, man. You in a position now where you have changed people's lives, man.
Right.
And you got to be privy to that and understand that if I get locked up, if you know what I'm saying, something happened to me, the money stop. You know what I mean? I gotta be able to maintain in this game,
Right.
and from just my opinion.
So do you think the baby is taking the game serious? Like, do you think he's taking his career serious? I mean,
Yeah, I think he's taking his career serious, but at the same time, I think he's taking his career serious, but he still has that street mentality. And when you worth millions of dollars, you don't forget the lessons that you learned in the street and you apply them to business in the corporate America. However, you can't move the same way.
right.
And you just can't, because sooner or later, you're going to catch a bad one. Whether it be a bad break with a prison stint, whether it be a bad break, like I said, you get hurt or cause somebody else to get hurt. Sooner or later, like violence, a bunch of violence never solves anything.
It doesn't. I get what you're saying.
Right.
With the baby, I do. Look, I love the baby, man. I love his music. You know what I'm saying? And somebody could get hurt, including himself, seriously hurt. So, we don't want to condone the violence. I just, I just didn't understand. Like, me personally, that's your artist. You know what I'm saying? If you get into it with your artist, that then and there, y'all should separate right now. Whatever's going on, whatever business y'all got, y'all need to go ahead and figure that out.
Say sever ties.
Sever ties from each other, because that's not going to be a good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Relationship.
Because it shouldn't. But once again, you're talking employee, not partner, but employee. Now, of course, the nigga gonna get fired. If I was the baby, nigga, get off my label. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or whatever. Like, I don't have to do no business with you or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But if I'm the artist, what do you do at that point?
I don't know, man. If you the artist,
I mean, because brothers fight.
But look, that's
you my brother.
Listen.
But we gonna have disagreements.
I know, but in front of fight like that in front of the world.
Well, it really depends on what happens. Excuse me. It's like this, man. You can get into a fight with your brother.
I can't.
You can get into a fight with anybody, really, depending on what caused it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I spit on you, bruh, I expect you to fight me.
Right.
And I don't care where we at.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's true. I mean,
sometimes
everybody gonna agree with that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's more like, where do we draw the line in the sand to say, Because some things you can walk away from.
Right.
I feel like most things with words,
Right.
I can walk away from.
Right. I get
I
it.
can choose not to deal with you after that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, okay, yeah, you got that. You know,
Maybe the baby tried to son him or something. You know what I'm saying? He probably tried to son him, and dude was like, "Nah, we ain't not like that over here." The baby probably got upset. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that wasn't a factor because you can't control these people just because they're your artists. They're on tour with you. You helping them out. That's cool. You know, you help them further their career, playing a part, an instrumental part in their career. I think that you got to have some level of respect, some level of resolve when you're dealing with people in the industry like that. That wasn't a good move. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much I kept about it and joke about the MMA turnaround joint, whatever you call that, the suplex triple threat. That's what I'm gonna call it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he got to have some type of resolve. That's
yo,
your
I'm
artist.
over here saying what I'm saying, but if I'm in the industry,
Oh man,
the baby is my ally.
I'm
going on tour.
But why wouldn't you want him to be your ally?
Because I know the baby's going to bang out. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to bang out, like, when it's up.
I just happen to agree with
When
you.
it's up.
It's up.
It's up, yo. I like that nigga.
Hey, the baby like that though. He
Hey, this ain't got nothing, like, yo, anybody who know me, you know how I feel about music. Like I'm going to take music. The baby is the exception to the rule.
Why?
Because that nigga like to fight.
Yeah, he like to fight.
I don't care about his music. I like that nigga. The baby.
Damn, the baby, man. Shout out to the baby.
And I said
man.
I was gonna stop saying nigga, but today I'm saying nigga. I like that nigga, the baby. I said I was gonna stop saying nigga and say my brother. But nah, now when it comes to the baby, that's my nigga.
The baby, that dude, man. I'm gonna give it to him. I like his flow. Like I said, I like the baby. I like
I
his
don't
personality.
listen to his music.
I do want him to just fall back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Do have a little bit of fun with it. But you know what I mean? I mean, look, there's some incidents or sometimes you just got to punch
The
somebody
baby out there, he punching niggas, he punching chicks, he punching everybody.
Yeah, he is, man. I don't know.
Shooting niggas.
Yeah, don't punch the chicks though. I mean, he punching chicks and everything. Kick you out the house and the baby. Listen, I'm telling you, man, the baby is really gangster. You know, you be talking about these hip hop artists. What they
I don't like using the term gangster.
Not like I ain't saying this.
Let's just
okay,
say
what term would you like for me to use?
The baby is real.
The baby keeps it real.
The baby is 100.
The baby keeps it real.
I like that.
Don't mess with the baby.
Listen, I like that nigga.
Don't mess with the baby.
CJ don't like a lot of niggas, but I like that
well,
nigga, baby.
Well, you know he wore a diaper now before. You still like him?
Nah, I ain't like that.
You didn't like he wore a diaper. That
I ain't knowing when he wore a diaper.
The baby don't do that again. He grew up now, obviously. You know what I mean?
Shit.
He's wearing pull-ups now.
Did you wear a diaper?
He's wearing pull-ups now.
Did you wear one?
Yeah, but the baby's wearing pull-ups now.
Okay, but you wore a diaper at one point, right?
I did.
Yeah, I wore one too, so I ain't gonna hold that too much against him.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the baby, he's doing his thing, man. I ain't gonna shout out to the baby, man, because he out there, man. He's putting them paws on you, man. If you get out of line, you're dealing with the baby, no matter what it is, man. He putting them paws on you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and look, Vincent, how you figure? We appreciate you stopping through, man, dropping a comment, man, on his live, on the discussion with CNE, man. So Vincent said, take a look at Chris Rock. He took the slap from Will because of where they were and who he is, got to know who you are and where you are. You know what I'm saying? Right, so that's my thing about it. I just don't like the place it happened in. Oh, the crowd that was watching.
What you talking about with the baby?
Yeah, with the baby, the incident with that. Even look, Will, I'm past, you know, Will, it was a great slap and all that, but Will he's a sucker, you know what I mean? That's Bel Air made, you know what I mean? So, but the baby, I just think that that just wasn't the time. Whatever was said, I don't know, but it looked like he was turning around, walking away. That's why I said baby tricked him. Like made it look like he was gonna turn around and walk away.
That flew in with a
Man, and turned around with one of them flying fists. Like he was with the Wu-Tang Clan.
And niggas been covering this shit. Like, yo, I'm keeping 100. I am a person, it's like when I see what these other YouTube niggas is doing, I'm like, I want to go the other way.
Right.
But, however, I made a choice to cover this one just to let the baby know if he, like, I'm riding with that niggas, yo. I like niggas like the baby who ain't scared to punch niggas.
Well, you know, he's definitely not afraid.
And in this day and time, you got too many people which I'm not sitting here. Let me clarify myself. I'm not condoning violence. However, it's a lot of suckers in this industry.
I don't know. Look, I read a report this morning where it said this guy that Wisdom, his artist, had I don't know if it's gone away or what, but a prior attempt murder charge last year. You know, so that's what I'm saying. And I looked in his face, just looking at the video, looking in his face, he was ready.
Right.
Oh yeah, the baby surprised him with that little flying fist.
And that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning.
He was ready.
I would love to see the baby show more reserve, man, because, you know what I'm saying, while I can sit here and applaud the baby for, you know what I'm saying, being that nigga.
His accolades.
For being a man. Right. Because and then I could take an ass whooping. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, with somebody that I got love for.
Right.
Now, I don't know about niggas who ain't got love for. Mm-hmm. But with somebody like my partner E over here, I love E enough where I wouldn't feel the need to go shoot that man.
Look, I appreciate it.
Because I know he got a family. I know he got a mother that love him. We close, and his family has adopted me, and my family has adopted him. And us killing each other would be ridiculous. However,
two families lose.
It could be, which I don't never, because we so far beyond that. But let's just say if we had a disagreement.
Right.
Sometimes the only way to work certain situations out is to go bang out.
Well, go behind closed doors and do it though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to next. Go, you know what I'm saying, get them 5 minutes, go get it off your chest. If we can't come to a resolution, go ahead and get. Sometimes brothers fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I applaud baby for being the dude who is willing to give you 5 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? You don't like what I said, man. Let's go in this room, close this door, we bang out, and after we leave from out of here, it's a wrap. I believe the baby is that type of dude. However,
I would have liked to see that happen.
However, man, when you have a track record of fighting people, sooner or later, man, there's niggas out here who will shoot you who can't fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
It's shooters who can't fight. They can't fight. A lot of them became shooters because they can't.
Right. Or they too afraid to get beat up.
They don't want to get beat up.
They too afraid to get knocked out. They
don't want that embarrassment. So, you know,
that can be pretty embarrassing, especially. I think it changed the game when niggas start knocking niggas out in front of their girls. You know, you're not knocking me out in front of my girl, nigga. I got to kill you.
That's a rough.
Ain't no way you whooping me in front of my wife, man. I got to kill you.
That's a rough one right there.
I'm shooting you. I might not kill you, but I apologize for saying that. I may not kill. I won't do that. I'm gonna shoot you in your leg or something. You can't beat me up in front of my lady.
Nah, shoot him in his ass.
Where you shoot him at? MacArthur Park.
Yo, I told somebody.
Where the baby shoot him at? MacArthur Park. Where? At MacArthur Park.
In the ass, man. Shot him in the ass.
Oh man, let me stop having good, because I don't want people to think I'm condoning this violence. It's funny though, man. But the baby, man, I do respect them on some levels as far as using his hands. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the gun violence. That's what men used to do. I don't want to see the gun violence. The gun violence is too much for me. I'd rather see him use his hands than the gun violence, but I don't want to see you turn on your own people this way, in this manner, in front of everybody. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see though. You know what I'm saying? So.
Listen, man, I just turned 44, my birthday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In March. You know. I came to the realization when I turned 44. I got up that morning, and when I got up, all kind of bones was cracking and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got up, it was like I needed some WD-40 on my bones. Like, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
44. I'm getting old. And I came to the understanding, I said, you know what? I ain't fighting niggas no more. I'm not fighting nobody. If I'll fight you long enough to get you off of me. 44-year-old CJ, I ain't doing nothing.
You got the capping?
I ain't doing nothing with shooting niggas.
Man, come on, man. You can't do that. You ain't got no business fighting
the baby, if me and the baby ever had an altercation, I'm going to shoot him in his ass. Because I can't beat
well, we
the
don't
baby.
want to shoot baby in his ass on YouTube.
I can't beat the baby in a fist fight.
How you know that? Hold up. You might knock the baby out. You don't even know it.
I don't know.
Now, you underestimate yourself against a guy that's 5'4".
I'm gonna fight the baby long enough to get him off.
How tall are you?
5'7".
And he's 5'4".
I don't know.
Oh man, come on, man.
But the baby look like
I'm shocked to hear you say
the
that.
baby look like he got exhibitions, like he be sparring and shit. He fights so much that it's almost like exhibitions and sparring matches.
Well, you got to think that because where we from over here in North Carolina, a lot of people do.
You gonna fight the baby?
Yeah, hell yeah, I will.
I'm fighting. Listen, I'm not fighting.
I ain't gonna duck him.
Yeah, listen, CJ got so much love and respect and admiration for people. I do everything in my power to avoid the conflict. As long as you don't put your hands on me, you can say a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You want to let the baby get you? You gonna get about $2 million. But
see, the baby ain't gonna do. No, the baby ain't doing too much talking. The baby, he coming out.
The baby going in, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I might avoid the baby.
So I might have to shoot that nigga.
No, I'm gonna just avoid the baby because you're gonna have to fight that nigga. You know what I mean? I won't avoid the baby, man. The baby out here. Listen, the baby out here just punching people up, man. You know what I mean? You know, so look, shout out to the baby again, man. I'm gonna get off the baby, man, because you know
what
I'm telling you, I don't want no problems with the baby. Man, I'm just capping all that. I don't want no problems.
Last question about the baby. What would have happened if the baby was hosting the Oscars?
I don't know, man.
What would happen if Will Smith slapped the baby?
The baby would have been on his ass. It would have been no more Oscars for the baby. It wouldn't have been no more Soul Train for the baby. It wouldn't have been no more BET Awards for the baby. It wouldn't have been no MTV Awards for the baby. It wouldn't have been no kind of awards for the baby. Will Smith would have got the solid hand because the baby probably would have got on his ass. And I think Will would have thought twice about running up there on the baby if it was the baby hosting the Oscars. So shout out to the baby.
I think Will Smith would have whooped the baby ass.
Come on, man. Stop it, man. We talking about Bel Air Will Smith. This is Bel Air Will Smith that came out at the Oscars. He don't want it with the hood baby. Now, if it was Philly Will that got sent to LA, busting the gun in the air, he might do something. You know what I mean? But no, not Bel Air Will. He not doing nothing.
Will Smith, he thought he had a song, man. He said he think he can beat Mike Tyson, man.
Yeah, but I apologize to him, but shout out to Will. Just don't try that on nobody like the baby. Wherever you at, if you see the baby Will, don't say nothing to him if he speak to Jada. I don't know what if Jada might be secretly behind the baby over there. You know what I mean? Red table talk. Could be a good match in heaven. The new Tupac, the North Carolina Tupac, the baby, and Jada.
Well, in other news, Parchman Prison has been found to be inhumane, according to the U.S. Department of Justice.
Right.
Thanks to the likes of the hip-hop community. See, this is the beautiful thing about this. See, we just covered something that was negative in nature. People fighting, people getting shot, people doing all kind of negative things that sheds hip-hop in a negative light. Now we actually have something that's a positive. That's a positive. Jay-Z, Yo Gotti, amongst others, took it to politics.
Right.
They took it to the politics. Made their voices be felt about the inhumane conditions at Parchman Prison.
Right.
In Mississippi, correct?
Yeah, it's in Mississippi. Parchman, I don't know what part of Mississippi, but it's a small town in Mississippi. Over down that way. So yeah. And
the little reading that I did on that said that shit is 28 miles.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge place.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just think about that. 28 miles?
Right.
I said, what? That's a prison?
Right. 28 miles long. That's how huge it is.
The first thing that comes in my mind is the old chain gang shit.
That's
what I think about. It, like, for what other reason?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them people out there, they probably only can eat what they grow and all types of shit.
Listen. I'll be the first to admit, I am happy about those hip hop artists like Jay-Z and Yo Gotti that stepped up. You know what I'm saying? Because this is much needed.
Shout out to Team Rock.
Right, Team Rock, whatever Yo Gotti, CMG, whatever CCM, what do you call it, CMG?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to CMG, everybody that participated in that, man, because I'm too familiar with stories like that, right?
Right.
From a personal standpoint, but I tell my story on another day. But those facilities do have conditions that no human should be able to live in.
That's a fact.
I mean, look, you should look at some of the floors. You should look at some of the toiletry, the latrine use. You should look at how they're fed, what they're fed. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Listen, hold up. I read on a box that was in the freezer one time. I was working in the food hall, in the Fed joint. I read on the box that say this should not be fed, not for human consumption. And it was fish that they used to normally feed dolphins and stuff like that at SeaWorld and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting food. And people may say, oh man, at least they get something to eat. Listen, we're talking about stuff that's not
still
fit for human consumption.
You're still talking about human beings.
So I congratulate Jay-Z and them, man. I'm happy about that. And these are the things that I like about hip hop. That's why I say I do love hip hop. And when we talk about positive and stories or doing things that will help your community in the long run.
Right.
This right here, making sure that the conditions are livable in these facilities, making sure you got suicide prevention programs in this facility, mental health treatment in these facilities to treat these people that are incarcerated here. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're still human. And a lot of times, most of these guys are going to come home, if they make it home, because a place like Parchman Prison is one of the most violent in the South, not just in Mississippi, but this is one that's it's talked about like Angola, like one of those things in Mississippi. So I think that I applaud those guys for stepping into that political arena to make this happen, man. To shed light on this and say, hey, look, man, y'all got to step up.
And the sad thing about it is Parchman is not the only one.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? It's the whole system needs to be revamped. In all honesty, the emphasis on rehabilitation is not prevalent in a lot of these places. From my research and stuff like that, now your situation is a little bit different from mine, so you can give more insight.
Right.
But in your opinion, now I'm just telling you what I was told.
Okay.
Federal institutions put more in place for you to rehabilitate per se.
No.
Now I'm just telling you
they've taken all of that
according to state facility.
Listen,
comparing it to a state penitentiary.
No, I think that they don't have the programs necessary to help people rehabilitate. I mean, just like small computer classes, teaching people how to use programs like Word, Excel, keep their mind going in there, keep them doing exercises with those type of things. No, they don't have that. They don't have the necessary classes. So let me say this.
They used to?
Listen,
because
some they did back in the days until they started locking up a lot of the black people.
Okay.
When you started locking up a lot of the crackheads and going into these communities and locking them up, why would you want to educate them? There was a time where federal facilities had pools. Why would we want black people in the pools in a federal facility?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's those type of things. You know what I'm saying? That happen because it transformed. The federal system transformed.
So would you say at this day and time, there's not too much difference between the state facility and the federal?
No, there's not. There's not. But some federal facilities can let's say can provide a little more security, a better at lower levels,
right.
Even in the state as well, at lower levels. But once you get to those medium highs and those highs and those penitentiary level institutions, it's not much safety. You got to survive how you survive.
Because they got federal joints. Some of these federal prisons are basically almost secrets. They underground and all kind of, you know what I'm saying, like max security places that you really got to get a lot of clearance to be able to go into.
Right, because people got to know you when you come on them yards. You know what I'm saying? People got want to see your paperwork the minute you pull up. It's your homeboys. You jump in. You know what I mean? They want to see this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot be walking around here if you don't have your paperwork and all of that. You know. But now, I guess now they can. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, a lot of those places they can now because it's like pretty much tolerable now. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's just crazy. Those facilities don't help facilitate a person's education. They don't. If you want to be educated and you want to get educated, you want to change your life, it's up to you. You in that place, you in that facility, it's up to you. Not taking away from anything that people will do to help people incarcerated. Like what Jig and them doing, because this helps African Americans in the long run because you're the one that's incarcerated.
And it sheds light on actually, you know, and I hate using the hip hop community, but there was a time where, you know, to do your bid was almost like breaking your cherry, like you know, in the black community, you know, and even to this day, you know, with certain people, you have a conversation with them,
right?
They talk about that, you know, prison like it's the
right.
greatest shit ever.
Right. So don't and listen, people, and that's what I hate. And this is one thing that I hate because I went through that, and as tragic and as long as it was, I know people see me and they don't think so.
Right.
And they don't know, you know what I mean? But I really don't care. I don't really care to tell them. But I'm just saying, but people being in that situation for those length of times, I mean, it's a huge disconnect with the outside, especially if you don't have that support from loved ones. You know what I'm saying? That disconnect could be the determination in how you proceed moving forward and correcting your life or yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just up to the person, man, to actually want to help themselves, man. And, you know, it's look, this right here, what we talking about, prison facilities that has those conditions that live like that, that's all over America.
Right. That's a fact.
This is not nothing that's just happening in Parchman. So let's just not point the finger at Parchman, even on federal institutions or state institutions or private institutions.
Oh, private, right.
It's happening. And, you know, I think that, look, with this story being said, I want to see what actually proceeds from this, the action that happened.
So what do you think is the, if you were provided or given the authority to make change within, you know, corrections, what would be your first course of action? Like, you know, as somebody who's been through that, like what would be the first thing that you would want to, like, let's work on this first?
If I worked in that, I would say let me work on the first with the people that we know we're going to be releasing. Right? Let's get facilities set up for them to help educate them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's help transition them back into society or to their communities as a better person, better man, a better father, a better son, a better neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on that, right? Because look, sometimes I'm not saying not work on or think about the people that has life or a substantial amount of time, but I'm talking about the people that we're putting back into the communities, into society, into the immediate future, even those people that have served lengthy sentences, or serving lengthy sentences that's about to get out, transition them, help them transition people like that into the community. That will be the focus, is getting them educated, getting them into, you know, just trying to figure out what they like, what they don't like, you know what I'm saying, and how you can help them to integrate some of those things, educational courses or things to help transition them. But it has to be certified courses, not those courses that's taught by inmates. Because you got those courses that's taught by inmates and you get a certificate from your education department, but it don't help you on the outside. You're not going to go to a job and say, I'm certified in this. And then when you show the certification, if they I hope they don't ask to see it, you know, you know, you get certified from an institution. Okay. Who wants to see that when you go on a job? Who's going to hire you? You're going to hire me or you? They're going to hire me or you.
Taken. And I like the insight that you gave on that. You know what I'm saying? What are some other things that we can do?
Because
or better yet, from the outside, somebody like you and I.
Man, it's got to be like support groups. Create support groups for people on the inside. Because look, I do know a guy named Eric Sampson. He was incarcerated, had a life sentence. I did a story with him on Facts. One of my very first shows. He had a story of incarceration. He was incarcerated for a life sentence. Then he got it reduced to a 30-year or 40-year sentence. And then he got it reduced to another 28-year sentence. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm going to do a story with him as well about that, just to get his story on that and let him put it out there. Because we've been talking about that as well. So, and he now has this thing where he and his wife, they help the incarcerated by getting them little things that they need. Like some people don't have homes and things to go to when they get out. They've been gone so long, family may have passed away or things like that. So he kind of helped them transition, trying to help them get to locations to where they're trying to get to, help them find housing, help get their money in their pocket. Because you don't get, the fact of the matter is you've been in prison 20 years, you get released, they get $200 and you're on your way.
You're on your way.
You know what I'm saying? So I just say, look, we got to do better. Not just in our communities, but in government. We got to do better.
Right. And with laws and different things like that, like where, you know, each case, because I have a cousin that was incarcerated when he was very young. He's now in his 60s.
Wow.
And he was released not too long ago. But he is so disconnected with everything. His mother, it's almost like she don't even know who he is. Well,
it's hard.
Let me reverse that.
Look, that's a hard thing.
He don't know who she is. Right?
I mean, but listen, look where he's been. And look how long he was gone. How long was he gone for?
40, 50 years, man.
I mean,
time.
I would expect him to be weird. But see, and this is why I talk about, like, you have to be, the government have to be, and the state have to be conscious of the fact that transitioning a person back, integrating them back into society is very important.
Right.
The things that you do, the levels of incarceration where you send them, you got to have more and more things for them to do, keep them well grounded, keep them focused, on, outside, you know what I mean, live, things like that. Don't just stick them in the cage. And I can understand the most violent of the violent now. I'm not talking about that. Things like that, you know, just, you know, murderers and cold-blooded murderers and people like that. I'm just saying, look, people that's incarcerated with that amount of time.
Yeah, some people deserve to be there.
Yeah,
but I always felt like the how can I say this without sounding crazy? Some crimes don't require life.
Right, they don't.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who were, petty drug dealers or addicts.
Those are who the correctional facilities
that
are.
were given a lot of time.
Look, you should have prisons and then you should have correctional facilities.
Right.
There should be a difference. You should be able to distinguish between those two. A prison should be for those hardened criminals, those people that on a day-to-day basis that you know pose a threat to civilization and the social well-being of others. That's what prisons are for. Correctional facilities are for individuals that make those little mistakes like that, those things that can be corrected, those things that where they may not have the opportunity or the access to educational things that may help with them and getting trades and things like that to help themselves out. You know what I'm saying? Use correctional facilities for those type of things to help integrate people back into the community and to, you know what I'm saying? That's what that's for, you know, so.
Yeah, because I had a lot, through the years, man, a lot to say about some of these people, some of these y'all favorite politicians. Motherfucking,
look, we should have had people on this
Bill
show.
Clinton blowing his damn horn. Niggas, all on his shit. And, you know, meanwhile, prison reform and all kind of, like, they you know, raping us on the opposite side.
I want black people to stop getting to the point where they saying just
Reaganomics.
We're looking for prison reform. We're not. I don't want prison reform because it shouldn't be that way in a way. It should start with those laws that are on the books. Let's attack those laws that are making it constitutional for judges, prosecutors to do this to young people all across America.
Exactly.
Let's attack those things. Then we wouldn't even have to talk about unconstitutional living situations during incarceration and stuff like that. Look, these laws are what keeping people incarcerated like that. Those laws, don't forget about that.
And a lot of these
don't
laws
forget
need to be changed. Like people don't
In fact.
understand the impact that some of these decisions that was made, 3-strike laws and all of that, and the impact that it had on our people, and we were the target.
Right.
But not to get too deep into that, but you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, but look, that is a very real situation. That's a situation where that could determine a person's life on the outside.
Right.
How you facilitate their transition.
How you facilitate transition.
Right.
Absolutely.
How you facilitate that transition between the person that you know that's going to be coming back in and coming in. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a revolving door.
Right.
In an institution. But it just seems that the revolving door is happening with most of Black America. And we're too small of a population in America to have a revolving door. That's all I'm saying. It's the law. It's the laws. We got to take a look at the laws. Those laws have to change.
Absolutely.
So that's just my perspective on it. I know I got a little deep in it. It's a little more personal for me. You know what I'm saying?
But that's it needed to be said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you said resonates with the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I even though I haven't done, you know what I'm saying, I haven't done no prison time.
Yeah.
And thank God that I didn't. But at the same time, like, I understand that position. I understand that the laws, when it comes to that, are wrong.
They are wrong. They facilitate it wrong and people like me bear the brunt of it. I mean, people like me bear the bad end of it, the bad part of the stick.
But you a beacon on the other side.
But listen,
you a testament to.
But this is my thing. I don't look at myself as a victim because I know what part I played in what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I know that I was harming my people, my community, doing things I shouldn't have been doing. But I don't think it warranted a 13-year sentence. I mean, it wasn't that type of situation where I was out hurting people. You know what I mean? Like physically, So I'm just, that's why.
And me and you talk about that all the time, like
right. So I had to. I took the initiations upon myself to say, look, I'm gonna change my life.
Right.
I'm gonna be something different. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think? Like, and I hate to keep picking your brain because I don't want to make you the guinea pig for this particular episode, but it's like I know people, and that remind me of. You remember Paid in Full, where Mitch was like, "Yo, hey, man, I just love this shit."
Right.
Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I got homies. They just love the hustle.
Right.
They just love that element of it.
Right.
They love the thrill or whatever it may be to keep them doing whatever it is they doing.
Right.
Like, however they getting it, you know what I'm saying? They love the streets.
Right.
For those people.
Well, look.
When it comes to the time given and stuff like that.
Well, look. Let me give it up because let me close out the audio show right here on Spreaker because we'll be out of time on Spreaker. But I'm gonna give you this question right here because I want to answer. That's a great question. Shout out to everybody who's joining us on Spreaker, man. This is the discussion with C&E, man. Y'all already know what it is. We here. We here, man. We're gonna continue to go. We're closing out the show with y'all, but we're gonna continue with YouTube. Join us on YouTube because we right here, man. On the discussion about that. So look, it was a point in my life where it was nothing more than what I wanted to do was hustle.
Right.
Nothing more than what I wanted to do was just be that guy. Not the guy just there in the trap houses or those things, the distributor. You know what I'm saying? Right. I wanted to know the man to be able to say, yo, here you go, boom, boom. I wanted to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Over there just making the moves happening, logistically speaking.
Right.
And there are those moments where people get that because the money makes you feel that way. The people around you that you're feeding to see their faces and see them and their family when they're doing good and you're looking out for them and they like, yo, nothing will happen to you out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Right. To be around people like that, to be able to hire people to protect you. I'm saying it's a different feeling. Right. You know what I'm saying? When you have to hire people to protect you when you go around in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Or when you have to have crews with you when you go out in the streets. People love that. But I say think about it like this. How valuable is your time? Right? Like, would you be willing to give your whole family, sacrifice your whole family, give everything away for these few years? right? So I did more time than I did on the streets hustling. So that's just a fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you got to balance out.
The balance is there's no balance there, right? So I just say, look, there's no way that you should want to feel that way about something that's going to tear you and your family apart.
Right.
Think about it that way.
Right, and you're absolutely right. Because even though I had my moment, and I used to look at it early when I was young as a curse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now I kind of look at it like it was a blessing. Mm. Because when I had that mentality,
right,
my wake-up call was leukemia. And it's like, when I came through that and made it through that, everything that I looked at was different. Everything felt different. Mm-hmm. The streets felt different. The air smelled different. Like everything was different on the other side. And even with that, right, I still tried my hand at it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, to feeling like this ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I was younger, I mean, because you talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, we project kids. We come from that.
Right.
And I can even remember as a kid, man, going to Halloween parties dressed up. Like, we idolized the wrong shit. Mm-hmm. Even at a young age.
Right.
And it's like that stuff is distilled in you.
It is. It feel like it's almost feel like there's no escape from it. Right? Because even myself, sometimes I still get caught up in that. I'm 42 years old.
Right.
Well, actually 43 years old. I'm 43. I just turned 43 in February. Look, it's almost right. But I'm just saying, look. But even sometimes I get caught up in that. Like,
you're an old nigga, though.
Man, I'm an old nigga, man. I'm old Negro.
I'm just fucking around.
No, for real. But look, even I get caught up in that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Some of that foolery and just because this you growing. You gotta think. I grew up in the crack era.
So did I.
We grew up in the crack era where, look, the only time that I knew black people that owned businesses, the only way they could obtain those businesses was through the crack era or through some chance that some slave owner left them their land and houses and they sold it and got the capital, the money off it or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. Well, what have it go? But other than that, the only business owners I knew were those that was hustling. You had to hustle to get yourself something.
Right.
So that's instilled in the black community. That's because we didn't grow up around a bunch of. I grew up around a mechanic or a barber. Right. Look, I didn't grow up around logistics managers. You know what I mean? People like that, supply chain managers, freight forwarders, people that started their own small freight forwarding companies, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up around that. Mm-hmm. Those were dreams for us to make it to those points, to be able to do those things, to go in and start your own company. But you had to hustle first to get it.
Yeah, and you know, you know, we're gonna. I guess we don't have time to get into all of it because this is a very deep subject that can go several different ways.
Right.
But you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, that wake up call is needed. Like whether it be analyzing it the way that he did, you know, once you know he realized that the balance wasn't there, mm-hmm. and you know it wasn't gonna pan out for him. In that particular way with me, you know, I came into a sickness to change my life.
Yeah, I mean, it happens different for everybody. It don't happen the same for everybody.
And then different people, and I know different people, for the ones who did change their life around, there was always some incident that made them look at their world a little bit different. Whether it could be a strong woman. You can have a strong woman on your team to tell you, that's not the way. You know what I'm saying? But we have a lot of women who embrace the money, the vacations, and everything that come with it. And this is now I'm speaking on a level, if you are somebody who's good at hustling. You got a lot of niggas who shouldn't be hustling, period.
Right, for real. I mean,
there's no way you can be hustling for 20 years and still be in the same place. Like, you're not good at it.
Right, and all you got is a Buick Regal.
Like, stop it. Go do something else, because you're not a good hustler.
All you got is a Buick Regal. 88 Buick Regal.
Like, so stop that shit. Y'all have to stop that shit.
Still playing Cadillac doors.
Man, get off
You
the
gotta
block.
fall back, man. Get your job, man. Get your 9-to-5, man. It's not gonna hurt you, man.
And you probably make more money for that 9-to-5, man.
Yeah.
You probably will.
You will. You will.
You make more money with the 9-to-5 than you out there. This is for petty hustlers. That like now I said, street dreams. A drug dealer's destiny is reaching the keys. Everybody's looking for something. A lot of you niggas is not reaching the keys, man. And matter of fact, they got so much shit out here now. I would be scared to hustle.
What they reaching for?
I would be scared to hustle these days, bro. They got heat, rays, and all kind of shit. You can't even be on the block no more. The police ride by you and they got a radar to detect if you holding a gun or not.
Wow.
They ain't even got they ain't got to stop and frisk your ass no more. They can just, it's a camera. Everybody got a camera. It's just a different ball game, and it's hard for me to even imagine somebody being highly successful at hustling in 2022. I mean, the end of the day, man, the result is always the same.
It's always the same.
Dead or in jail.
Dead or in jail.
However, I think in 2022, your chances of getting knocked off have highly increased with all this technology.
Yes, it has.
Unless you smart like your boy. You remember we covered the story where your man had the what they call it, the shits that fly.
What? The drones?
The drones. My man was hustling with drones. You remember we covered that?
I remember that. He was dropping off packages with drones. That was about 5-6 months ago.
And they knocked his ass off. And you got, saying niggas coming from Mexico with the submarines and all of that. They asses getting knocked off with submarines. So, like, really, what I mean, how successful do you really think you're gonna be hustling in 2022?
I just don't know.
Well, hustling drugs.
Yeah, well, get you some legal hustles out here, man.
Get you some legal hustles, man.
And handle your business out here, man. The boys, want to come in today, man. And, but look, while we closing out this show, how often are we gonna be on YouTube doing these shows?
Man, I'm coming on YouTube whenever I feel like it. Okay. I'm giving y'all niggas this work.
Okay.
Y'all niggas getting this work. Like, yo, I got some hip hop shit coming in the mornings. It's gonna be every morning for 30 minutes. We're gonna cover all kind of shit, and that's courtesy of C&E Media as well.
Okay.
Pressure.